Good morning guys, welcome back to my channel. You all asked for more viral TikTok hacks, and that is exactly what I have for you today. I have compiled over 20 different hacks, various life hacks, kitchen hacks, different things for all over the house, and I'm going to just do my best to run through them real quick with you guys. As always, I will tag every creator that I possibly can down below, but you never know who the original creator is. Well, it's really hard to know who the original creator is because everything over there is redone and redone and redone. But I will do my best to give credit where it is due, as well as if any of the TikTok creators have a YouTube, I will try and tag that below as well. But since I have over 20 of these, I'm gonna get started. I wanna get started with a fun one, and that involves balloons. To show you this hack, sadly, I have to take it off of its string. So, step one. I've left the string because my daughter will freak out if I cut the string completely off of her balloon. But if you ever have a helium balloon, get all the way up to the roof and you don't want to try and bat at it to get it down and you can't reach any string or anything, there's a hack for getting that down a lot faster and easier. This way you can see there is nothing in this bottle. All I'm gonna do is put water, just plain water out of the faucet in this bottle. Balloon, way up there. You just take the water. You're supposed to be able to spray the balloon and it comes down. Oh, there it goes. See, just water. I will say that took a lot more sprays than I thought it was going to, but it still worked. In my true fashion, I want to take this one step further, see if it worked on foil balloons and with a water gun. Pretend the string is not on the balloon. I don't really feel like cutting it off. I'm soaking my roof, but it's working. This works too. Still have balloon strings all over my house. Next hack is for how to put on a bracelet easier. Put the bobby pin in wherever your loop is. You're gonna take it and you're gonna hold the bobby pin, not the bracelet. And then you're going to maneuver it to where you can get it, and then just put your clip on, whichever ring you want. And then you can just pull the bobby pin back out and your bracelet's on. So much easier than fighting with it. And mine has a big clasp. This works even better for the smaller clasp. I just can't find one of my other bracelets right now. Down on the floor for the next hack because this is heavy and I'm not picking it up. Okay, so instead of digging out water bottles like you see my children doing here and ripping the side and pulling one out on each time, there's an easier way to get the water bottles out. Fully intact, hasn't been ripped open. What it says to do is take some kind of razor blade, find what would be the middle, which sadly is that part. So I don't think this is gonna, well, we're gonna figure it out. May go back up. All right. And you're going to cut the package down the middle like that. Okay, maybe I didn't cut it far enough. Okay. Oh, there we go. And then just flops open like that so you can grab one water bottle out the top. Is this easier than that? Yes, but this right here, I have to pick them up one by one or pick up this entire thing to move it and hope the water bottles don't fall out. But if I want to move this one, I could just pick this up and move it and none of them are going to fall out. So I really don't know if this is worth it or not. Next hack involves your trash bag. There is a much easier way of putting this into the trash can. There's my trash can. It's one that pulls out from my cabinet. Now you take your trash bag and you know how everybody does that, and then when you go to put it in the trash can, it's still kind of fluffy and you gotta pull it a little too hard. No, once you fluff the bag, take it, grab it, and get all that air sucked out of it so it's like a tube. And then it will just go right on in the can and right around the edges. Super easy and done. Let's talk about duct tape. Apparently there's an easier way to rip this if you need to and you don't have scissors around, and you obviously shouldn't put this in your teeth and use your teeth to help you rip it, but there is an easier way. So you got the piece of tape. I'm gonna stick it to the table so you can see. You can pull on it really hard. It's not going to tear. But what they said to do was if you fold it into a triangle, it will rip, just like that. Look, I'm putting full force on this, and I cannot rip it. So I don't know what it is about the triangle, but something about the triangle makes it rip. This next one refers to actually watching TikTok videos. If you want to speed it up without messing with the bar across the bottom, there is an easier way to do that, and I am using his videos, so he'll be mentioned down below anyways. But if you hold your finger on the side, it speeds up the video. You can see it down here. It speeds it up 2 times speed just by holding your finger on the side of the screen. And then goes back to normal as soon as you let go. Next hack involves toothbrushes, specifically traveling with them. You're going to need some gloves, not the latex gloves that are like really tight. You want this kind of glove. Take the glove, take the toothbrush, and you're going to get it into the finger hole. If your toothbrush has little grippers on it, it's a bit of a struggle. But put the toothbrush into the finger hole. All of our toothbrushes have these little tongue things on them, so they're sticking. But like that. This will also work with just 2, or if you've got kids, load them in there too. So that we got that. Then the thumb hole, travel toothpaste, place it in there, and you're just gonna roll this up, and everybody's toothbrush is together, sealed up, all nice and pretty, and can go in your bag just like that. One side note, full-size toothpaste will not actually stay in there, and then you can't actually seal the bottom. So it does need to be travel size. And second note, these do not have to be children's size. 4 full-size toothbrushes will still work as well. My kids love these crazy little lollipops you can find out near most checkouts in stores, but they are ridiculously hard to open. And they're not really, if you know the trick. I wish I would have known the trick a lot sooner. The trick for opening these, what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold the top part, and then you're gonna hold where this actually meets, and you're going to twist them against each other, back and forth, and you'll feel it start to let go in your hand. And then it will just, see what it's doing? It will come apart with no effort and just pop right off, just like that. As per usual, I get curious. Things like this, they are wound just as tight here. So the same thing, same concept will work on these if you go against it, back and forth, and it will start to let go. You can see it right here. I don't want to fully unwrap this one because the only kid home is Gwen, so 1 lollipop open at a time. If you have scratches on your car, apparently the combination of these 2 will take it off. We'll see. Since I'll be taking this outside, I put it in a plastic bowl because I don't trust myself. But in the bowl, I've got equal parts of both of these, about 4 tablespoons of each. Standard microfiber cloth I got off of Amazon, and we're going outside. One of my neighbors is conveniently doing their lawn, so I apologize. But I've got these scratches right here above my wheel. I'm gonna try it on. And then down here on my door, I got a much deeper scratch. I'm gonna try this spot too. In the mixture, so you can see that it's on there. And just rub it into the scratches. Buff it around. All right. It did something up here to this one. This one didn't do much, and like right here, but it did something there. Put even thicker this time. Okay. Now it didn't specify anything else. I gave both spots a minute to dry. This spot still looks really, really good. These are the 2 that didn't take, but all that right there, it looks really good. And then down the car, that big old scratch spot, look at it. It looks fantastic. Now, with most things you're gonna find on TikTok, directions unclear. There was nothing on there to tell me if I need to go wash it off, if it needs to sit for, you know, a few minutes, a couple hours, rinse immediately. I don't know. So I'm gonna go try a few more scratches on my car. Then I'm going to wash it off my car since it is vinegar. So I'm gonna wash it off and then let you know what it looks like. Forgot to come out and check the scratches in my car. Now, it's really hard for you to tell, but they are still there. It didn't like make them go away, but it did mute them here. This one is a lot more muted in the actual eye. And then I did it along this big old scratch here, and it did mute that too. Apparently cans like this, you can open this little flap here with a spoon so that way you don't have to hurt your nails, or if you can't really get your finger in there because you have some kind of injury, you can open it with a spoon. It literally says that you can just get the spoon up under it, then take this and pop it that way, grab the spoon on the other side, and pull just like that. So, whoop, and I spilled, but you can open it with a spoon. And no, I'm not wasting. I'm gonna store it in my fridge, don't worry. Let's talk about garlic. Now the hack is for if you like using stuff like this, or you just hate your garlic going bad too quickly because you're not using it fast enough. Now this right here, as you can see there, does have extra added ingredients. It does have water. This is more expensive. You can buy your garlic like this, no added ingredients, just peeled garlic to make your life easier. Or you can even buy the bulbs of garlic for what I'm gonna show you with this hack. I have this just because it's gonna be easier today, but it's even more cost effective if you use the heads. Food processor, take all of your cloves and put them in your food processor. Next step, chop this down into your preferred size, however your food processor, blender, whatever you want to do, get it to your preferred size. Once you get it chopped down to your liking, you can add water, you can add olive oil if you want to give it a little bit of mobility, or you can just leave it just like that. I'm not adding anything to mine, I'm gonna use it as is, but get a bag that is good to go in the freezer and label and date it. And then transfer all of that goodness into the bag. Roll as much air as you can out of the bag and then seal it completely. Once you get your garlic in the bag, flatten it out, not like, you know, completely paper thin, but flatten out the garlic and get out whatever air remains at the top, or hopefully yours fills the bag. Mine didn't, but flatten it out and get the air out. Take a butter knife or anything really that you want to use, and you're going to score the bag. You're not cutting the bag. You're just scoring it into chunks that you would want to be able to use of your garlic once they're in the freezer. And I mean, obviously freeze it flat so you don't lose all your markings. Then when you're ready to use it, just crack off a little cube of it, throw it right in your pan. The next hack is for anyone that likes to pour soda from the can into an actual cup. There's a way to do it where if you pop this up the right way, you can put the can on top of here and it will fill up the glass, but it will not bubble over and the soda will not touch the can. I wanna see if I can actually do this. Open the can, you leave that part up. I'm trying to remember how he did it. Like that. Which is a lie with root beer. Take two, since I'm using root beer and it's genuinely, you know, more fizzy soda, I'm gonna try and give it another shot. I'm gonna lay it more gently this time and let it do its thing. And still touching the can with the fizz. So you might wanna make sure if you're doing root beer, your can is definitely clean. But it's doing it by itself, so it actually does work. Pretend my ketchup bottle was a lot lower. If you wanna get everything out of your ketchup bottle, sriracha, ranch, barbecue, any of the thicker condiment bottles, there's an easy way. Grab it on the bottom. Make sure you have a good tight grip on it and be careful with your arm. Obviously, if you've got arm injuries, don't do this. But hold it from the bottom and you're going to literally swing your arm. That's all you're gonna do over and over again for a second. And when you bring it up, everything is down toward the bottom, ready to go. Sriracha from the bottom, go either direction. Just make sure you hold it from the bottom. Everything all the way to the bottom. Cracking an egg is very easy. It literally says, the hack, if you drop the egg straight down, it will crack the egg, but everything will stay intact, so then you can just pick the shell up and let it go. There will be no pieces of shell, and it's ready to go that way. So I've got the egg up here so you can see. And if I just drop it, just like that, no shell pieces in it whatsoever, perfect crack. It doesn't have to just be into a frying pan. This is the bowl of my stand mixer. Egg up here, as you can see. Drop it in. Perfect crack, no pieces, ready to go. Bowl. This one obviously you have to have a little better aim, but
you cracked it.
It works for the bowl too. And no, I'm not wasting them. I'm making a cake. The kids are happy about the next hack because they got to make cake and cupcakes, and I'm gonna show you a trick for traveling with this. The only Tupperware I have that's tall enough for this is a food saver, so just don't judge that. Okay, so instead of having your Tupperware and picking up your cupcake and risking getting it all messy, putting it into the Tupperware, put it on the lid and just put it upside down and carry it that way. That's the whole hack. And you can do this with pancakes or anything that would be messy. Just like when you go to take this back out, you just have to lift it from here instead of having it traveled and having to relift it out of there. Piece of cake. You put it on the bottom. It works the same as the cupcake without getting all messy. Because the cake, I would literally have to pick it up by the whole piece of cake and be able to gently place it in there and get it back out of like a deep, tall container with sides. That's why the lid works so much better. The next hack involves strawberries. Now, if you have some strawberries that are kind of looking a little dimply, a little questionable, like that one right there. Let me see. Yeah, this one right here is not looking too great. What they say you can do is take a bowl of ice water and then you just put the strawberries in it, make sure they're fully submerged, and wait 20 minutes and they should plump back out. That way you can see the bruises and stuff on that one, and you can see the bruise and just the grossness on this one. We'll dunk those 3.
20 minutes, starting now.
Timer just went off. And let's see how they look. I want to try and get the camera to really focus on it. It did a little bit for them. Like, they look much better than they did. I don't know if they look great, to be honest, but like if I'm pushing on it, they're definitely no longer squishy, but they're also sitting in ice water, so. But I would say for cosmetic purposes, this one works. Let the camera refocus, this way you can fully see that, yeah, it took all the dimples out and it's no longer soft and squishy, so we're gonna say sure, this one does work. The next hack involves how to store lemons so that they last longer. Now you can store them on your countertop and it says you get about a week before they start to dry out, possibly even mold. Or you could put them in the crisper drawer in your fridge so that way they still retain moisture. But there's something even better. Now after you've washed them, it says to take a glass jar or a glass bowl and use some kind of filtered water. So I'm just using the jug out of my fridge. Put it in the jar. And then store your lemons in the water so that way the skin on them stays nice and wet. And I'm not going to use the other M word because there's people that are sensitive to that. But this will help retain the moisture to the skin. I put too much water, I had to empty it out because I want to be able to move them around. But what I'm going to do is store this in my fridge, and I'm going to store this in the crisper drawer of my fridge without the water. I'm going to leave them both in there just like this and see in maybe like a week from now what the difference is between the two. This one right here has this mark on it, so you'll see that it is this exact one, and it is going in my crisper drawer. Ignore my mess, but I'm gonna put that one just in there like that. And then in my fridge on this shelf, I'm not doing a lid or anything, but that way we can see what it looks like, so we know I'm not switching out the lemons. And I'm just gonna put that right there for the week. It's been a week on the lemon. There's the mark. It feels perfectly fine, no new marks, doesn't look like it's drying out at all. Seems like good. Move the juice. Here's these two in the water. That is still a lot more firm than the other lemon and looks perfect. So whichever method you really want to do, but this works really well, longer than this. I need to use my cutting board for the next one, and I believe I showed this in a previous TikTok hacks video, but if your cutting board has no grippers and just moves a lot, wet paper towel on the counter and it won't move. The reason my cutting board, let's talk about apples. If you ever have an apple and you need to cut it for your kids' lunch or to travel or anything like that, instead of just taking the whole apple with you, you don't need to put this in lemon juice. You don't need to tie a rubber band around it. It is a very simple way to keep it fresh. First thing, I gotta cut the apple. Actually, I think I can get away with one apple. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you the hack with these 4, and then this is gonna be without the hack. This way, you guys can watch in the real time. These are going in there with their lid sealed over there. These, what you do is you simply just run them under water. Just look at my hand. Nothing but cold water all over the apples. Shake them dry. Put them in the container and pop the lid on.
Whoa, that was cool.
Ignore my dirty fridge. This one right here is the one that has water. I'm gonna put it in this bin to the back. The one that has all the apples facing up had no water. That one's gonna be in the front right there. And we will wait several hours and come back and look at them. Cutting board's out. Next hack involves green onions. That is a lot of green onions to use at one time. So the hack involves cutting these up first. Well, once you cut them up, then we'll move on. Fast forward, they are washed, dried, and now cut. What you're going to need is an empty, clean water bottle. Now I'm going to attempt to use a funnel, but you need to put all of these into the water bottle. I don't even know if a funnel is gonna, oh, it's kind of helping.
Oh.
This sideways bottle method is a lot faster than that funnel ever was. Full bottle of green onions. So now I'm just gonna pop the lid onto this and throw it in the freezer. Just put it in there, let it freeze, and whenever you need it, pop it out, open it, shake a few out into your dish, and then just keep this in your freezer and refill as needed. It is actually the next morning, so let's take these out and see if we can tell a difference. I hadn't popped the lids because otherwise there was no way I was getting that. But this is the ones without the water bath. And here are the ones with the water bath. Like, they look pretty good. This one has like one little questionable spot, but they look a lot better than those do. And imagine if it wasn't in an airtight container. These would be awful in like a little Ziploc bag as opposed to those. The next hack I love, I've used it for a very long time, and that involves sizing for jeans. Now, if you're at a store and you don't want to go into the dressing rooms are closed, you're at a consignment shop and they really don't have dressing rooms, there's a way to know if the jeans will fit you without actually trying them on. This pair belongs to my daughter. I needed a pair that were too small. None of mine are too small. And then I've got one of mine that fits just right and one of them that is too big. How this works, make sure it is buttoned so it stays together. Grab the jeans, put them around the back of you, and bring them around your neck. If they do not meet in the middle, it is too small. Different pair. If you bring them around your neck and they overlap like a lot, too big. Third pair. If you bring them around your neck and they meet just right, or even just a barely little bit of overage, but they meet just right, that's your size, these will fit you. And conveniently enough, these are my favorite pair of real jeans. They fit perfect. Next one involves Netflix. I'm gonna pick Stranger Things because that's what I've been watching recently. When you're in the show, if you have a lot of like background music and there's people talking and you can't really hear the dialogue too well, it's because of the way they've got you set up for your stereo. They automatically default to where you have surround sound. If you do not have surround sound, you need to change this inside Netflix so that way you are getting it right. I'm gonna show you what to do. So you see down here in the bottom where it says English Original? If you go over here to Other, here's your full list, here's your subtitles, here's your audio down here. It has me defaulted to 5.1. That's surround sound. I don't have surround sound. I have to go down here to this one. Now I'll be able to hear everything properly, and I'll be able to hear the voices better than hearing all of the background music, and then the voice is really little. It just evens it out. If you've watched any of my other TikTok hack videos, you know that I like to end on something fun that's not actually a hack. It's just something that's good to know. This time it involves the Go-Go Squeezes. My kids have been eating these things for years, and I never knew until someone on TikTok pointed out that there are jokes on the bottom of the Go-Go Squeeze. I looked all over the box for some kind of mention, and the mention is literally just right up here at the top. Only one small spot, but this is a completely sealed box, so that way I can show you I'm not lying. So let's open this thing together, grab just a random one out, and you see there's words on the bottom. There is a joke on the bottom of the packages, like a Laffy Taffy thing. And I had no idea. I told you my kids have had these for years. What did the T-Rex love note say? I dine adore you. So they're cute little corny kid jokes, but I had no idea. But that's gonna do it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this and got a lot more hacks to try around your home. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up so I know to make more videos like this one. All the creators and everything will be down in the description box down below. Subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.